Yo, and yo. I just remade my favorite song by No Good, Are You That Somebody? By Aaliyah, the No Good remix. Super fire, so gas. When I first heard it, I was like, this is going to be impossible to try to recreate. But I figured out the notes and we got very close. And I want to show you guys all these secrets and all the different things I learned while doing this. We have a lot of different layers. I'm going to showcase all of them to you now. We'll learn how to go and create each of them one by one. And then if you guys want to just download everything right away, that'll be on my Patreon in the description. Support me and get some downloads. The project and presets will be available. And if you guys want to stay tuned till the end, you will learn the drums and all the flows. And let's get started.
West Coast Philly. Here we go. Fellas, say what? Here we go. Dirty, dirty. Say what? Here we go.
Hey, you know what it is? We do have the vocals from the original song.
Here we go.
And the remix. And the drums are up here. We just got a closed hat, snare, kick. Got like layered snares and claps and snaps. And then the main things are like the sub. So this is like a hybrid sub and bass together. We'll be going over this patch here very soon. This one's able to go up and down and pitch and have a fun time talking. We're in D minor, by the way. The original song is in D minor and the remix is in D minor. Then we have this sub. More sustained pitch bending sub with extra harmonics. That's more of just a sub with the synth to accompany it. Those together. We'll go over that. We do have this supporting wub that's acting in the call and in some of these sections. So that's a nice bass too that we will be going over as well. It's pretty minimal. You love to see it. This is the main one. And it's important that you understand the flow. So I'm going to consolidate this real quick so you can look at the notes because this is a huge part. We're in D minor, so we're really working around the fifth. The fifth is A, and then if you see, we go root, D minor, go to the fifth in the scale, which is A. Then we jump up to the seventh, and we go up home. Now, important, we're kind of using D minor and D harmonic minor. If we go to harmonic minor right here, it switches one of the notes in the scale. You'll see this C sharp just changed from C. So that means the seventh in our scale, so the note under our root, the seventh, which is this C right here, it gets shifted up to C sharp when we go in harmonic minor. So we're going to be using this note C sharp as well. And we're going to be using that actually over here in the synth, the Wubby synth, you know. Over here, the C sharp is, that's that note that we were talking about. The harmonic minor gives it that really nice flair and feels good. That last one. So keep that in mind. That's our scale. These notes are extremely important and being able to use them properly is going to be vital.
Here we go.
So you'll see we go fifth, C, D, C, fifth.
Here we go.
Then we go up to sixth, root, fifth. We're always going like up and down the scale in cool different ways, cool different patterns.
Here we go.
And we're mixing up fast notes with long sustained notes. So we can go back and forth between pitch and also between flow, short, fast hits, long sustained notes. So that's going to add a lot of flow and dynamics and just a lot of bounce and groove, you know, and that's really ideal situation here. This post-processing is pretty simple. We'll go over that here at the end. We can go ahead and turn all these off for now. We have one LFO, LFO1. And we're using I Can Has Kick. This is a huge, awesome table that we're going to be using. We're using basic shapes. It's on the saw wave, which is number 2. Load up your wavetables first, and we'll go ahead and just start from scratch right away. So this is how we start. We get the I Can Has kick. And you're going to load up unison 3 voices, turn this up to 3. We're going to load up this LFO, and we're going to start dragging it onto many different things. LFO 1, make this shape. So we'll slant it down right here, dot up here, curve right here, or on half rate on retrigger. The shape is important. After you have this dialed in, you're going to turn that level all the way down on oscillator A and put the level on it, going up 75%. PD from B is on this warp mode. So you're going to turn that on over here, PD from B, and then bin plus is on this side. So both warp modes are being used. On bin plus, you're going to add the LFO to the knob and turn it up 52%. That is going to make it move as well as the wavetable position is going to make it move. We're going to bypass these so you can actually hear what they sound like when it's not moving. Add the bin plus. You see this movement here. And when I'm creating this, I'm really just creating it by sound and feeling and what sounds cool and trying to add as much movement as possible. So on this wavetable position, we'll be doing something similar. We move it up to 51, add the LFO on it and have it go up 22%, and then it moves more. We want that feeling. That's going to be about it for this oscillator. We need sub, so just turn on the sub, turn the level to 49 and add the LFO to the level, and it's going to give us some sub. Now that feels nice and beefy. We want to turn on oscillator B, and now we're going to use PD from B. So this wavetable goes into oscillator A basically with the PD from B, and we're going to turn it up to 23% on this knob. So make sure this is turned to 23%. This level is going all the way down on oscillator B. We are turning this to octave 1 plus 1 octave, and the wavetable position is at 2. It's at this saw wave. We're adding that saw, you hear? Turn it off, turn it on. Adding more beef to the beef stew. Let's add some noise, just a tiny bit of white noise. This is on bright white. Level is at 0 and the LFO is on it, going up 12%. Now this is pretty big and beefy. We need to start taming the frequencies and removing frequencies. So we're going to add the filter. Cutting a lot of those high frequencies. We turn on S, A, B, N, and the pitch tracking, key track. This is so all these are affected. And now this is on MG-Low 12. Just move the cutoff to 100 and put the LFO on it. It goes up to 30. Resonance on 16. LFO on it goes up to 17. Drive at 11. LFO on it goes up to 28%. Resonance and drive, just adding more of the effect, turning it up a little bit, adding more oomph. And the cutoff is how we control how many frequencies are removed. So this is at 100. Listen to it at 200. Technically, this works, or even 600. Technically, that works. So we have all these other options, but just for this remake, we're just leaving it at 100, keeping it like more contained, deeper, and lower. Just gonna leave it right there. I made another version that is a big beefy version, so you guys will be able to have both of them. It is, let's see here. It is this one. So this is a variation of it, just with the cutoff a lot more open. You see here, we're allowing a lot more of those high frequencies to come through. So that's very customizable. You know, that's kind of the goal here. All right, so now that we have the filter on, we're gonna start adding some effects. You're just gonna turn on chorus. This will make it a little wide. The mix is at 20%. Feedback's at 10%. Compressor on, multi-band is also on, and gain is turned up to 10.8. Very slight effects, slight width with the chorus and slight compression with the compressor. Now we have to finish it with the post-processing. This company OTT is just an OTT at these settings. Make sure to change the ratios here. 74%, 1000 time, 12 dB. Nice, clean compression, then saturation, turning it up 3.4 dB, but then turning down dry wet to 40. We're really raising the volume with that and pumping up the jam. All right, this utility is going to make it wide, but we're not going to make the low frequencies wide. Those frequencies stay mono. So we turn on bass mono, and then we turn up the width to 288%. Really widens out, feels even bigger. Off, on, done deal. EQ weight, popping up the lows a little bit here. At 1, we're turning it up 4.8 at 56 hertz. With band 2, we go down negative 420 at 420 hertz. You know what it is, 420 all day. Number 3 stays the same, but number 4, we're raising the roof, turn it up 6.5 at 958 hertz, high shelf. Final equalization, just to really make it feel cleaner and beefier. Before, after. Add a little bit of erosion. This is just all that ear candy, wide noise. A little bit of noise on the sides. Another erosion, sine wave this time. Little sine wave ear candy. Check the amounts, check the width, make sure that they match. 35 amount here, 65 amount here. Soothe is also on here just to ensure no problematic frequencies. Technically, this isn't even needed, so if you don't have it, don't even worry. Utility on, we're turning it down negative 2.5. When I would test how loud the sub is with this low pass test, it got too loud, so that's why I turned it down to negative 2.5, just making sure the sub and everything isn't too loud. I'm trying to stay at around negative 10 to negative 8 LUFS, so I don't get too loud. Now, I finalize it with a G clip. Just clipping at 0, and that'll finish the signal. That'll be the sound. This is a 4-bar phrase. Remember, always 4-bar phrases. This is how long this is. Then 7th here at the end with the C. Practice writing, songwriting, using those intervals, spacing out your notes, and going back and forth between different variations of notes and tones. It's going to help a lot. Remember, this sub is layered with this wub.
Here we go.
So this wub, it's also very nice, very fun. This is just going to be sine waves and an ICANS kick. I'll turn off all the post processing for now. And load you up an analog BD sign right here. Wavetable position, we're going to add the LFO to it. So it goes up to 51%. And the LFO looks like this. See how the middle dot is slightly going to the right? And see how this is slightly curved up? Do that. It's at a quarter still. Level also goes all the way down, and add the LFO to the level, going all the way up. PD from B and PD from C are on, so make sure those are on. Soon, when oscillator B and C turn on, these will come into play. This is the start point. Done deal. Turn on oscillator B, load up ICANS kick, which is in digital. Wavetable position is going to be affected by LFO2. So LFO2 is a different shape. It looks like this. It's a little cool ramp with this curve. And that goes on this wavetable position going up 44. And it's going to add that different movement at a different shape, kind of tightening it up. And the only reason we can hear oscillator B is because PD from B is turned up to 32%. So make sure that is done. Done deal. Oscillator C turns on. Adding more harmonics here, adding more frequencies. By the way, oscillator B needs to be 5 voices, 5 unison. That's going to make this one wide. Make sure that's completed as well. Oscillator C turns on. PD from C over here needs to go up to 63%. And then now we can turn this up to 5 voices of unison. Turn the level all the way down. This level stays down, but on oscillator B, the level will not stay down. We actually will be using LFO1 on this level, and it goes up to 59%. That will finish all the oscillators. Now we can go to the filter 1, turn that on. This is our sound. Then filter 1 contains the frequencies again. A and B are on this time. Cutoff is all the way down, and LFO1 goes on the cutoff, going up 59%. Nice controlled wub. Drive is at 20% and resonance is at 18% to kind of just turn up the filter, get it beefier, add more drive, add more resi. Cool. So now we have the Wub foundation. We're going to get phaser turning the feedback to 42% and turning the frequency to 100. You can make different tones and get different variations moving the frequency knob, so you can play with that if you want. Right now we're at 100. EQ goes on, we're going to high shelf it. At 2041 hertz, it goes up 8 dB on the gain, turning up those highs. That's what our Wub sounds like now. Then we add EQ8, cutting the lows at 170, kind of cutting the mud as well. Then adding an OTT, goes up to 11 dB, 100%. The OTT turns up a lot of the frequencies. This may be too aggressive for you, and this is optional. You can really mess with the amount. You can use this how you like, but I want these other frequencies to pop through. I use EQ8, cut it at 150, and then turn it down as well. Kind of just turning on this resonant peak, taming the sound, and adding erosion, a sine wave at the end. Adding more like artifacts and higher frequencies. That sine wave at the high octave sounds like it fills everything out even more. And then a little bit of reverb, 27% at 710 milliseconds of decay, kind of tight. Finishing that off.
Here we go. Fellas, say what?
Makes an appearance over here, but at the beginning it plays the root note. This time over here it plays the 6th and then the 5th. Beautiful.
Fellas, say what? Here we go. Dirty, dirty.
Hey.
Say what?
Hey.
Here we go.
Next section. These sections include this 6 sub. This one's really easy to make, so sustain sub, just get a sine wave, keep the level as is. The envelope, the attack's at 128. This may have been changed, double check that, and that's literally it. No effects, easy sine wave. The add saturator, please check these notes. This is the 5th going long, the 6th, and then go back to the 5th. We're always using that 5th. Our root and our 5th are our best notes for life. So you'll see that pattern all the time. Now the saturator is going to give it those harmonics. So listen to the sub regular. We add saturator. 5.7 dB, 69% wet. This is adding more beef, more harmonics, but it has to go to soft sine. Analog clip sounds different. Kick tight is also on, adding even more harmonics. It's tuned to D0, the root note. Turns it up a lot as well. Utilities turning it back down to -4.7. Just trying to get that at -10 to -8 LUFS, and that's where I'm leaving it right there. So as these notes are changing, we have pitch bend affecting the notes. In Serum, make sure that your sub has the pitch bend change to 12 and -12. That's the only thing we didn't go over previously. That's the last thing that you'll need for this. Pitch bend range, then go to the envelope section, MIDI control, and then pitch bend's the first one. Listen to that in the mix.
Say what? Here we go.
So nice pitch bend. The -12 semitones is an octave. So we're just using an octave to play with up and down, but we're just going down here right before the next note starts. Nicely done. Very fun one. But during the sub guy that's being sustained, we have these like higher frequency synth wubs. We're in octave 4 through 5. And look at this. We're starting at 5th, jumping to 7, going back root. Check that.
Say what? Here we go.
Octave lower. This is also delayed a little bit. It's at 31 milliseconds over here, just to give it a little bit of nice delay and groove and swing. So remember to do that. But these notes are important. Once again, using the 5th, going up and down the scale, 5th and 6th make an appearance throughout the whole song a lot. So you'll see that pattern. But then lastly, at the end, we use the 7th in harmonic minor rather than regular. Instead of very cool, very nice. Now let's go ahead and look at this sound. Turn off the post processing. The wub, by the way, that we just went over is also delayed a little bit, 60 milliseconds. We didn't discuss that, but this wub delayed 60 milliseconds, so do that too. So this is a different type of sound. You know, this is real blippy. We're using envelope 1 to control kind of everything. Let's check out the ADSR here. 44 milliseconds attack, 47 milliseconds decay, sustain all the way down, and 47 milliseconds release. It gives you this super tight, small shape. We have no effects, by the way. I'm going to turn off the filters. This is how we start. +1 octave with a sine wave. PD from B is on, going up 41%, and the level's all the way down. The envelope is going on the level, going up 63%. That's controlling the shape. That's the start. Then we add the square. Level's all the way down as well. Envelope on the level, going up 54%. Now we hear this, and we hear the PD from B as well. This is wide, though, so this square, make it 8 voices of unison, make it wide. Boom. Cool. Now this sound we're going to turn up using this high 12, cutting all the lows while turning it up using this drive at 23%, and resonance is at 24%. Cutoff is at 1443 hertz. Filter boosts, and then this filter is going to clean everything up. Envelope 1 goes on this cutoff. The cutoff is at 561, and the LFO goes up 35%. So we're just kind of barely allowing those high frequencies to come through. This is A, B, C turned on, so make sure that's done, and resonance is at 10%. Now, envelope 2 is on the coarse pitch of oscillator A, so it's giving it the smallest, tiniest amount of like that lasery feeling. Copy this ADSR, it's even tighter than before. Add it to the coarse pitch up here, and it's only going up 1%, so it's barely there, but it's like a tiny little lasery transient. That will finish the patch. Let's start post-processing that. We're just going to turn that up with some company OTT compression. Check these settings, make sure they're good. We're at 36% and 12 dB output. We're going to cut all the lows at 126 hertz. Reverb is on. This EQ isn't really even doing anything. Reverb at 541 milliseconds decay. 40% dry wet. A little transient shaper, just to pump up the attack a little bit. It's up 51% before, after. Kind of making it a little bit pluckier. Very nice, very fun to use that. That is the high frequency synth wub that is playing with the pitch bend bass. The notes that are changing really are holding everything down. Those are the main sounds. Halfway through the drop, we just have some sweeps that help with the energy.
Dirty.
The vocal fills are really important too, so just pay attention to how the bass plays with the vocals right here.
Here we go. Fellas, say what? Here we go.
Very, very groovy flow, you know. Lastly, we're just going to get into the drums. They're very simple. We have some closed hi-hats. These had a lot of reverb on them, so I added the reduce ambience to remove 70% of the reverb. And then the shifter, I'm on frequency mode, and I turn up the fine to pitch it higher. It used to sound like this. That's OG, but then I pitched it higher. Just listen to the song and turn this fine up until I liked the way it sounded.
Here we go.
The kick is the freaky kick from Avant. The Avant sample packs that are used will be in the description. You guys can use the affiliate link and support me and Avant by getting the packs for these drums. But really good drums. We have this freaky kick, holding it down, and look at the pattern. It's on every bar. So look at our 4-bar. This is our 4-bar loop. Every bar gets a kick, but on the last bar, we do a double kick. And that's basically the pattern of the kick. You just duplicate that. Very simple kick and kick pattern. The snares, the first one is layered more than the others, and then this one So the snare kind of sounds different when the drop starts. I have two different snares essentially, but just lots of layers to make these. I turned this group down, add a little bit of compression and a clipper. We start with a nice tight snare, maybe like a more mid-frequency snare there, all still tight and short. This one's more punchy, and then we layer it all with a snap. We add a little bit of texture, like a pre-texture to hit right before the snare too, which kind of helps make it feel kind of bigger in that section. And yeah, you can just layer these snares however you want. I did these pretty quickly. Just find snares I like that are short, punchy, cool frequencies. I turn them down and kind of mix them in.
Here we go.
One thing that we took from the original song was these perks. So you'll hear those playing in some of those sections.
Here we go. Billis. Say what? Here we go.
This is essentially how No Good chopped everything up and arranged everything. It's just so gangster, so sick. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I love making these songs. A lot of videos are planned and scheduled. If you guys have any questions, just hit me up directly. DM me on Instagram, Discord. I'll be happy to help you. And I do 1v1 lessons like every single day. So if you guys need help right away and you want to progress super quickly, just let me know what you need and we'll get you on track. Have a great day, guys. Peace out.